Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back, baby. Uh, uh. Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back, baby. Gang, gang, gang. It's Ghetto. I'm not gonna belabor the point. I hope you're having an amazing week. Mine's been all praises to the Most High. Pretty outstanding. Pretty outstanding. Hope that you and your family, are enjoying each other, are getting yourselves locked in and geared up for whatever you're into. Hanukkah is coming up around here, and we not mess with none of that pagan schmegan. Which is exactly what we here. We here to talk. We here to continue to bring that out. Is it appropriate for us to be pushing and influencing our children to celebrate such type of days? Before we get into anything else, I just want to share a bit. You know what I'm saying? I got the Dictionary of Greek and Roman Antiquities. Let's handle some business real quick first. We'll be right back.
Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I see trees of green.
Fair use. Xmas Aint Gang Part 2, Ghetto Presentz. Christmas Aint Gang Part 2. Let's go!
For me and you, and I think to myself,
what you thinking, Smokey?
what a wonderful world.
My God, let's go.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself,
what you thinking, Smokey? What you thinking?
what a wonderful world.
Let's go. Let's go. Fair use. Shout to Glenn Beck.
And look at the work that is going. First of all, there's a really cool story. If you go to the front page of glennbeck.com right now, you will see one of the pieces that we are building for.
For those that might be unfamiliar, before I jump into this, Glenn Beck was actually one of the most popular Fox News hosts of all time before he was laid off for what some would argue was revealing some things that the people over there did not want him to reveal about the Native Americans, the indigenous people, the autochtons of this landmass. And he got laid off for starting to get really, really, really particular with what he was talking about on live broadcast history that they don't teach you in school. But let's keep it going. Shout to him. I believe he's doing his new podcast over at Blaze TV. Let's go.
Independence Week for Man in the Moon. Man in the Moon is going to be really a different experience. There's a couple of stories we want you to be aware of. First of all, there's a really cool story. If you go to the front page of glennbeck.com right now, you will see one of the pieces that we are building for Independence Week for Man in the Moon. Man in the Moon is going to be really a different experience. When we tell you that we've never done anything like this ever before, you'll see in this one picture. This is we're building the Tower of Babel. And you'll see it's in the American Dream Labs green screen
Don't you be punished for that?
Yeah, nothing bad
I
ever
mean,
happens when you
yeah.
build a Tower of Babel.
I think there's a punishment for that. But
Yeah, well, anyway, we're building it in the American Dream Lab now.
Are you still speaking English, by the way?
Yeah, you
I
can't
don't think so.
understand me?
No.
So how did you understand that question?
I guessed.
So anyway,
twice.
It's really an amazing set, and we'll show you some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. But if you look at this is for only 2 minutes of the program Man in the Moon, maybe even less than 2 minutes. And look at the work that is going into it.
So it looks like he's recreating the work of George Méliès, one of the earliest movie producers and film creators and screen directors of all time. His work, Man on the Moon, is one of the classic examples of what you can do, and with quote unquote movie magic, and some of the first and earliest renditions of on-screen special effects. So this is interesting. Let's go.
I think at the end of this, the people. I think at the end of this, we could have a little mini industrial light and magic company, but one that will be a force for good. That if somebody's trying to make a great movie and they're trying to do special effects, we'll be the company that will be able to provide it. Ben McPherson is an absolute genius, and he has assembled a team of the Dream Labs out in the Mountain West that is just remarkable. Some of the people, and I don't want to out them, but some of the people involved, you've seen some of their work before in massive movies, and they've just had enough of Hollywood. They're like, I don't want anything to do with it, and so they're helping us. They're helping us with Man in the Moon. This Independence Week is going to be really remarkable. There are a few tickets left for Man in the Moon, but even if you can't get tickets to Man in the Moon, you want to come to this Independence Week. We're going to, I hope, be able to announce some things next week. You know, the National Archives are closing. They're just not going to be able to hold the hours anymore. So if you want to go see the Declaration of Independence or anything like that, you're just not going to be able to do it. You want to go see the White House, you just can't do it. David Barton and I are putting our own National Archives together, and we'll tell you a little bit about them that week. But also we'll tell you some things next week. You're going to want to have your family with us. Take your vacation the week of Independence and join us. If you go to the website, glennbeck.com/ what is it, tours or tickets, or what is it, Man in the Moon? I don't know. Go to glennbeck.com and you'll find the Man in the Moon page. What is it?
Events.
glennbeck.com/events. Go there and you can find out some of the information of when it's going on, but not all of the information is there. And that's wrong. Is that wrong?
glennbeck.com/events just says page not found.
Thank you, Jeffy.
He said, look at the authority he says it with.
So yes, the reason I wanted to play this is he's absolutely right. The archives, they're trying to actually slowly but surely close up and close away and take away the archives. So, you know, all the places where they have the books and copies of pictures, copies of letters, copies of photos, they're slowly doing away with that and slowly doing away with the departments who oversee that and the funding and budgeting that is for the archival of Americana and American history. And that is a very dangerous thing. That is extremely dangerous. And it's almost like because people are starting to wake up to what's actually happening, they want to now remove our ability to learn and discern and disseminate contrasting thought to what they have the mainstream selling us. Contrasting thought to what they have our kids learning in school. It's like, here, yeah, we'll archive and keep all these amazing records for you in these beautifully well organized and safe locations. But now, too many people are starting to learn about this. Too many people are starting to look at these websites. Too many people are starting to come to these offices and these spaces and these pseudo museums to learn about these things. So we got to shut it all down. And that I think that's so hilarious, but not to be surprised, because they can't give you the tools to free yourself now, can they?
website that says events. You click on that, and it takes you to Man on the Moon.
Yeah, okay,
Last
Man
episode.
in the Moon, but it was a nice.
I love the authoritative
It's the authority.
way he
Yeah, it's
dispenses wrong information. It's awesome.
It's events, you idiot.
But yeah, man, shout to shout to them for that, man. Shout to them for that. So anyway, we're in the Dictionary of Greek and Roman Antiquities. We are looking at Saturnalia. Saturnalia. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it. Love it. Okay. Saturnalia, the feast of Saturnus. Saturnus, to whom the inhabitants of Latium attributed the introduction of agriculture and the arts of civilized life. Read that again. I keep myself small to the side so you can see this. You're not gonna say, "Oh, you made that up, Ghetto. You're making stuff up, Ghetto. You're making stuff up, Ghetto." Saturnalia, the feast of Saturnus, to whom the inhabitants of Latium or Latinum, depending on who you ask, attributed the introduction of agriculture and the arts of civilized life. Falling towards the end of December. Let me see if I can pull up my highlighter. Word. Highlighter. Word. I'm a fool. Falling. What? Still can't highlight. Oh, let me see. Okay, it's not letting me do it. Never mind. Falling toward the end of December, you can see this at the season when the agricultural labors of the year were fully completed. It was celebrated in ancient times by the rustic population as a sort of joyous harvest time. Oh, it's a time of merriment. And in every age, every era, every epoch was viewed by all classes of the community, every generation, as a period of absolute relaxation and unrestrained merriment. Do what you want, baby. During its continuance, no public business could be transacted. The law courts were closed. The schools kept holiday. To commence a war was impious. To punish a malefactor involved pollution. So you couldn't go to school, you couldn't do business, the courts is closed, the banks is closed. You couldn't start a war. It was seen as very poor taste to start a war, to punish somebody who had done you wrong. It was very bad. You couldn't do this. And here are the sources, because I know you guys love sources. Pliny, epoch. I'm just going to assume that's Pliny the Elder. Special indulgences were granted to the slaves of each domestic establishment, relieved from all ordinary toils. So he was out there getting it in, but were permitted to wore the pileus they were permitted to wear the pileus, the badge of freedom, were granted full freedom of speech, partook of a banquet attired in clothes of their masters, and were waited upon by them at table. So the masters waited on their servants at a table. All ranks devoted themselves to feasting and mirth. Presents were exchanged among friends. Ciri or wax tapers being the common offering of the more humble to their superiors, and crowds thronged the streets shouting, "Lo Saturnalia! Lo yo Saturnalia!" This was termed Clamari Saturnaliae. While sacrifices were offered with uncovered head from a conviction that no ill-omened sight would interrupt the rites of such a happy day. More sources. Ain't that great? Ain't that great when there's all these sources? Some people are, Ghetto, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I got you. Many of the peculiar customs exhibited a remarkable resemblance to the sports of our own Christmas and of the Italian carnival. Are you not entertained? Many of the peculiar customs exhibited a remarkable resemblance. Damn, it looked just like the stuff we do for Christmas in Italian. Damn, why it looks so similar? Because nigga, it's Saturnalia. It's Yule. This is what it is. Thus, on the Saturnalia, public gambling was allowed by the adels, just as in the days of our ancestors, the most rigid were wont to continence card playing on Christmas Eve. The whole population threw off the toga, wore a loose gown called a synthesis, the whole population, and walked about the pileus on their heads, which reminds us of the dominoes, the peaked caps, and other disguises worn by masks and mummers. The Siri were probably employed as the Macaulay now are on the last night of the carnival. And lastly, one of the amusements in private society was the election of a mock king. Again, this is the Dictionary of Greek and Roman Antiquities. If you don't agree with it, please pull up some sources. This is the source for this particular piece of it. This is Tacitus. Oh man, Lucian, Arian, other sources about this particular section. Excuse me. One of the amusements in private society was the election of a mock king, which at once calls to recollection the characteristic ceremony of Twelfth Night. Saturnus being an ancient national god of Latium, the institution of Saturnalia is lost in the most remote antiquity. In one legend, it was ascribed to Janus, who's the god that January is named after. Again, right there on the cusp of the end of the year, beginning of the year. Who, after the sudden disappearance of his guest and benefactor from the abodes of men, reared an altar to him as a deity in the forum and ordained annual sacrifices. In another, as related by Varro, it was attributed to the wandering Pelasgi upon their first settlement in Italy. And Hercules, on his return from Spain, was said to have reformed the worship and abolished the practices of immolating human victims. So to immolate, the definition of immolate, to kill animals for sacrifice as a religious sacrifice, to kill, especially by fire, to sacrifice, offer, kill. So Hercules, when he came back on his return trip from Spain, was said to have reformed the worship and abolished human sacrifice. That's interesting. Hercules abolishing human sacrifice. That's almost like the story of Jesus. No? While a third tradition represented certain followers. No, Ghetto, you're wrong. Jesus is the ultimate human sacrifice. So after Jesus is sacrificed, there is no need for sacrifice. So after he is sacrificed, human sacrifice becomes abolished. Yo, Ghetto, you conflating stuff. You putting things together that ain't there. You bugging right now, Ghetto. I don't even understand Why niggas be trying to say you smart? I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. What are you talking about? I'm not smarter than a 5th grader.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Grab a pencil and a piece of paper. Teacher, now we're back in school. So are you smart enough for the 5th grade?
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. So I'm just asking questions. Continuing on. While the 3rd tradition represented certain followers of the last named hero, whom he had left behind on his return to Greece as the authors of the Saturnalia. Records approaching more nearly to history refer to the erection of temples and altars in the first celebration of the festival, to epochs comparatively recent to the reign of Tatius. And that is talked about by Dionysius, of Tullus Hostilius, of Tarquinius, Superbus. That's a man, that'd be a fire rap name. Tarquinius Superbus. Now let me stop. To the consulship of A. Sempronius and M. Minucius, or to that of T. Lartius in the preceding year. These conflicting statements may be easily reconciled by supposing that the appointed ceremonies were in these rude ages neglected from time to time or corrupted, and again at different periods revived, purified, extended, and performed with fresh splendor and greater regularity. During the Republic, although the whole month of December was considered as dedicated to Saturn. So during the Republic, the Roman Republic, the whole month of December was dedicated to Saturn. And you see the quote, only one day, calendar, January, was set apart, or Janusus was set apart for sacred rites of the divinity, when the month was lengthened by the addition of 2 days upon the adoption of the Julian calendar. The Saturnalia fell on the, 10th, 5th, 16th? Oh no, that's an L. So 10th, 15th, L would be the 20th. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm getting these Roman numerals right. XVL. Roman numerals. I get what. Okay, so this won't give me the answer because it's saying that I have a 5. Oh, L is 50. So 50 minus 5 would be 45. Minus 10 would be 35. That doesn't make any sense. Huh. Not really sure then. Yeah, I hear that I hear what you guys are saying. That doesn't make any sense to have the lower value in front of the larger value on this numereroman.com site. It's saying that I don't have the letters in the right order for them to give me a day. I hear you. I agree that generally the it's supposed to go largest to smallest, but yeah, I'm just telling you what it says. LV, like, yeah, I see that LV11 would make sense, right? But this is XVL Cal Jan. So let me see, XVL Cal Jan. We doing this live, family. So let's see, Cal Jan. Oh, okay. Well, Reddit says that would have been December 17th, XVL Cal Jan. Now, again, it's Reddit, so it's the debate religion Reddit page. It says that would have been December 17th. Okay, also fairybeekeeper.wordpress.com says that was December XBL Caljan December 17th. Okay, so we'll go with December 17th. The Times Candelarium, timemedlar.co.uk also has it at December 17th. So winter solstice. Winter solstice opsipulse.com also has December 17th, December 23rd. Oh, okay. So, okay. All right. Got a couple sources. December 17th and December 23rd. December 17th being the start day on 4 different sources. So we'll go with that, which gave rise to the confusion and mistakes among the more ignorant portion of the people. To obviate this inconvenience and allay all religious scruples, Augustus enacted that 3 whole days, the 17th, 18th, and 19th of December, should in all time coming be hallowed, meaning set apart holy, thus embracing both the old and the new style. And that was very common for them to try to bring in the pagan and combine it with the new burgeoning religion that they were trying to have all the people celebrate and enjoy as a collective. Because I mean, if you're going to have all these people together, they got to have collective customs which they celebrate, so they're not just breaking out in war and chaos amongst each other. They have to have a collective culture. Even if you do allow them to have their own separate things, you want them to have a collective culture that ties them all together. Thus, a 4th day was added, we know not when or by whom, and a 5th with the title Juvenalis by Caligula. An arrangement which, after it had fallen into disuse for some years, was restored and confirmed by Claudius. But although strictly speaking, 1 day only during the Republic was consecrated to religious observances, the festivities were spread over a much longer space. So there was 1 day for the actual holy ceremonies, and this was the holy of the days. The rest of them are for merriment and celebration leading up to this joyous festivity, this joyous day. Okay. Or maybe I just said that in reverse, that they had the one holy day and the rest were to celebrate and honor and revere that holy day. Thus, while Livy speaks of the first day of Saturnalia, Cicero mentions the 2nd and 3rd, and it would seem that the merrymaking lasted during 7 days, for Novius, the writer of Attilinae, employed the expression septem Saturnalia, a phrase copied later by Memmius, and even Martial speaks of Saturnari Septium Dies, or the many set apart days of Saturn. Although in many other passages he alludes to the 5 days observed in accordance with the edicts of Caligula and Claudius. And again, more sources. In reality, under the empire, 3 different festivals were celebrated during the period of 7 days. First came Saturnalia proper, the first proper day where everything's holy and pious, commencing on the 17th of December, followed by or is it that they read this in reverse? Is that what I'm doing wrong? Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Followed by the Apulia. Followed by the Apulia, anciently coincident with Saturnalia on December 17th. These 2 together lasted 5 days, and the 6th and 7th were occupied by the Sigillaria, so called for the little earthenware figures, Sigilia and Oscilia, exposed for sale at this season and given as toys to children. And again, that is the Dictionary of Greek and Roman Antiquities. If it's wrong, prove it wrong. That was pages. I mean, if you just look up Saturnalia in the dictionary, okay. So we ended on page 1009. Where do we start on? So like page 1008 to or 1007 to 1009, gang. All right, check that out. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm mother flipping wrong. Because I'm always wrong. We'll be right back, family.
Maybe R. Kelly did urinate on this woman, but America urinated on R. Kelly. And if you let them put this man in jail, America will urinate on each and every one of you. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Mark.
Please, people! You saw the tape. The girl testified she was
Fair use.
underage.
Christmas Aint game.
You're not
Part
allowed
two.
to do
Ghetto
that
Reactz
to a little girl.
Presentz.
We have a videotape.
Go tell that to your white bitch.
But the girl was... Prosecution rests.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, all that needs to be said is this.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
It's like they got us living in a time loop. This is crazy. Fair use. Let's go.
St. Nicholas was born around 300 AD in the Turkish port of Myra, the Greek port of Myra at the time, and St. Nicholas wasn't a saint by then, just Nicholas. He was a bit of a lad.
Ignore that light hue, guys. Well, I mean, yeah, ignore the light hue. we saw the iconography, and I'll pull some up later just to remind you. This is much lighter than the iconography describes his skin tone. But let's go.
Because as a baby, he stood up in his bath and thanked the Lord for his birth. Very chicolas. As a priest, Nicholas performed some remarkable acts. Once he saved 3 boys who had been cut into pieces by an innkeeper and then stuffed into a barrel. Our Nico happened to pass by, did a little praying, and the boys had no longer kicked the barrel, but were once more alive and well. Thank you, St. Nicholas. He also showed his generosity to 3 poor little girls by throwing bags of money into their bedroom in the dead of night. One of those baggies of cash got stuck in one of them babe's pumps, and that's why we still put our shoes out at night, hoping for some dosh. Chocolate coins are accepted, no change given. Nicholas was promoted to Bishop of Myra, but died soon after, on December 6, 342. This is when he was declared a good saint, and then somehow he moved to Spain and spends his winters in the Netherlands. From Myra to Almere, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And check this out, gang. Fair use. Shout out to the paranormal scholar.
Has taken on a rather innocent tone. The common image of Santa Claus coming down chimneys, arms laden with presents, is a very modern one. Traditionally, for many Christian cultures, This time of year was seen as a holiday which encouraged wanton depravity and the horror of sin.
Not sin and depravity. Sheesh. Let's keep it going.
Such Yuletide debauchery was regarded as unchristian by many Protestants, leading to widespread avoidance of the celebration. Indeed, the Christmas season was a time of demons and monsters.
The Christmas season was a time of demons and monsters. You heard her.
Leading to widespread avoidance of the celebration. Indeed, the Christmas season was a time of demons and monsters. Around the year 2000, on the internet,
Let's check out this list of 5 frightful Christmas monsters and their origins. Let's go.
there began to circulate Christmas postcards from the... Indeed, the Christmas season was a time of demons and monsters. Around the year 2000, on the internet there began to circulate Christmas postcards from the Alpine regions of Europe that depicted an odd tradition hitherto largely unknown to the English-speaking world. Such postcards portrayed a large, hairy, devil-like figure flogging children or stealing them away in a basket on his back. Many were shocked by such images, whose idea of Christmas was more in line with a jolly old father figure handing out presents to the pleasant tune of jingling bells. It was disturbing to think that anything so vile and demonic could be associated with so joyous a holiday.
Before that continues, this is talking about dear old Krampus. Krampus, and be like, yo, who the hell is Krampus, right? Krampus was the Christmas or deity who would go around and beat the bad children, or if they were really just egregious and out of hand, just kidnap them. The lumps of coal, the beating the kids and all that on Christmas, not giving them no gifts, that was handled by Krampus, the assistant of Sinterklaas. What? Ghetto? It wasn't no thing like that. Anybody who's a fan of horror movies at all remembers the old Krampus horror flick, which came out. And this is what that movie was alluding to. Here, let's read some stuff real quick. And we'll read and get context as this is playing. NationalGeographic.com. Ghetto, National Geographic is not a good source of information. Jeez. Oh, do I have to? You guys are annoying. There you go. All right. All right. Damn it. Let me read the article. What is Krampus? What is the real story behind the story of the Christmas beast? Half goat, half demon. This mythical beast was born from a centuries-old German tradition. You know, because we was Germans. Don't let these fools lie to you. We was Germans, nigga. To whip naughty children into being nice. See, now Krampus would have got CPS called on him, but I don't think Krampus would have been too worried about CPS. You know what I'm saying? I think Krampus would have beat a CPS work ass. Could you imagine? Hold up. Yes. My name is Julie Summers. I'm here on behalf of Child Protective Services. Yes. I am here to speak to Mr. Krampus. I'm Mr. Krampus. Hi, Mr. Krampus. I'm Julie Summers on behalf of Child Protective Service, and I just heard that there were some things going on with some children here that I was told to come fast. tragedy struck as Julie Summers, social worker for Child Protective Services, was found eaten alive. Remains of Julie Summers were found half eaten in the vacant 200 block at 11 p.m. Large chunks of her flesh had been torn off viciously. Reports were she was in the area to investigate what was going on with some children around the holidays, and tragedy just struck. More on this at the 11:30 news. Back to you in the studio. No, Crabs to go. All right, giving these badass kids nothing but a ass whooping. While listening to the radio in December, it's unlikely to hear holiday songs singing the praises to Krampus, a half goat, half demon horrific beast who literally beats people into being nice and not naughty. Krampus isn't exactly the stuff of dreams. Bearing horns, dark hair, fangs, and a long tongue. The anti-St. Nicholas comes with chains and bells that he lashes about. Beat your ass with this chain. Fuck, come to my door, Julie Summers, talk about what these kids get for Christmas. They get the ass whipping. You want one too? Along with a bundle of birch sticks. Beat your ass with a switch. God damn it. Meant to swat naughty children. If we get back to swatting naughty children, maybe we can save the world. Just maybe. I don't know. He then hauls the bad kids down to the underworld. He will just snatch the kid. Oh, whipping them ain't working? All right, we out of here. Your ass is coming with me. Where are we going? Where are we going, Mr. Girl? To the underworld. I don't want to go to the underworld. Shut up. Yo, Ghetto, you enjoying this too much, bro. You enjoy talking about beating these bad kids too much, man. Kids are sometimes shut up. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Krampus is coming to kick your ass. In Catholicism, St. Nicholas is the patron saint of children. Yes, he is. His saint days fall in the early December, which helps strengthen his association with the Yuletide season. Many European cultures not only welcome the kindly man as a figure of generosity and tolerance. Generosity and benevolence to reward the good, but they also feared his menacing counterparts, who punished the bad. Parts of Germany and Austria dread the beastly Krampus, while other Germanic religions have Belsnickel and Nutch Ruprecht, black-bearded men who carry switches to beat children. France has Hans Trapp and Pierre Fouettard. Some of these helpers, such as Zwarte Piet in the Netherlands, have attracted recent controversy. Krampus's name is derived from the German word Krampen, meaning claw, and is said to have been the son of Hel in Norse mythology. The son of Hel. Interesting. The legendary beast also shares characteristics with other scary demonic creatures in Greek mythology, including satyrs and fauns. The legend is part of a centuries-old Christmas tradition in Germany, where Christmas celebrations begin in early December. Krampus was created as a counterpart to kindly St. Nicholas, who rewarded children with sweets. Krampus, in contrast, would swat wicked children, stuff them in a sack, and take them to his lair. Good for you. Stay there, evil children. evil child. According to folklore, Krampus purportedly shows up in the towns the night of December 5th. You know what's so hilarious? And I'm playing with this whole child services thing, but I really find it hilarious that in the past, like this is just what it was. Yo, your kid, he was catching the lashes, man. That's it. CP who? Child what? Child protective what? Yo, Ghetto, that's wrong, Ghetto. Shut up. Y'all be on here talking about F them kids. I'm wrong for talking about some Krampus. Get a grip. I'm trying to beat the kids back to the right way, man. Krampus out here doing the Lord's work. What are you doing? Getting these badass kids Jordans and PlayStation 5s. Cut it out. Anyway, according to folklore, Krampus purportedly shows up in towns the night of December 5th, known as Krampusnacht. Krampus will snatch your kid, nigga. Krampusnacht. Krampusnacht. I like it. Snatch them little Krampus. Oh, Krampus night. Krampus night. The next day, December 6th, is Nikolstag, or St. Nicholas Day. St. Nicholas Day, when the children look outside of their door to see which children was left in town. Hey, Jimmy, you still there? Yeah, I'm still here, Bobby. Where's your sister Melissa? Bobby, where's your sister Melissa? There was nobody in her bed this morning. It was just a lump of coal there. And a birch switch was left behind. I'm going to clean mommy's dishes now. Stick out here snatching kids. When children looked outside the door to see if the shoe or boot they left out the night before contained either presents for a good behavior or a rod. Oh Lord. A more modern take on the tradition in Austria, Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, and the Czech Republic involves drunken men dressed as devils who take over the streets for Krampuslauf, a Krampus run of sorts. Oh, so now how they have the SantaCon and Santa Run and the Santa Crawl. They did a Krampuslauf. When people are chased through the streets by devils. So they changed that into the Santa Con and the Santa Run, huh? Crazy. Crazy. Krampuses walk through the streets of Salzburg, Austria. As the flares burn, Krampus serves as the counterpart to St. Nicholas during the holiday season. Why scare children with a demonic pagan monster? Oh, I know some reasons why. Some of these children is pagan monsters. Yo, Ghetto, what are you doing today? Some of y'all children is pagan monsters, damn it. Demonic. Maybe it's a way for humans to get in touch with their animalistic side. Such impulses may be about assuming a dual personality, according to Antonio Carniero, who spoke to National Geographic magazine about the revitalized pagan traditions. The person dressed as a beast becomes quote unquote mysterious, he said. Yeah, the other reason is whip these kids into shape. God damn it. Krampus is coming to town. Oh yeah, Krampus is coming to town. Krampus is coming to town. Hey, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good before he kills your skate. Oh no, I'm just saying stuff. So before he kills your mate. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Cause Krampus take your ass anyway. Y'all mad at me, but y'all celebrating this nonsense, man. Support the movement. Why you out here judging me? Why you out here judging me? Support the movement. Support the movement. Support the movement. $ his ghetto point of view. $ his ghetto point of view. $ his ghetto point of view. Help me get, you know what I mean? Winter season. Help me get some tea. I like ginger tea personally. Help me get boxes of ginger tea for the office. Caribou coffee. So when I'm up doing this research, I can have a nice cup of caribou coffee. Help me with that, gang, so I can get my coconut cream based milk, coconut whipped cream. You know what I mean? Get all my plant based accoutrement to go with my coffee and tea. Help me out, gang. $ his ghetto point of view. $ his ghetto point of view. $ his ghetto point of view. All regular, all one word. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Oh, let's keep it going. Krampus's frightening presence was suppressed for many years. The Catholic Church forbade the raucous celebrations, and fascists in World War II Europe found Krampus despicable because it was considered a creation of the Social Democrats. But Krampus, all right, National Geographic, god damn it, get your money, National Geographic. I ain't mad at you. Thank you for this excellent article. But Krampus has been having a resurgence over the past few years, thanks partly to a bah humbug attitude in pop culture, with people searching for ways to celebrate the Yuletide season in non-traditional ways. In the United States, people are embracing the dark side of Christmas with Krampus movies, special Krampus television episodes. They're throwing Krampus parties, attending Krampus snatches in cities like Washington, D.C. and New Orleans, and running in Krampus-themed races. For its part, Austria is attempting to commercialize the harsh persona of Krampus by selling chocolates, figurines, and collectible horns. There are already complaints that Krampus is becoming too commercialized and losing his edge because of his newfound popularity. Shouts to nationalgeographic.com for the excellent article. Shout to them for the excellent article. Let's continue.
Yet Krampus, the horned devil creature, predates the pleasant tune of jingling bells. It was disturbing to think that anything so vile and demonic could be associated with so joyous a holiday. Yet Krampus, the horned devil creature, predates Christmas and Christianity. He is the son of Hel, the Norse goddess who is said to rule over her domain, also called Hel. As the Christian notion of Christmas spread across Europe, Krampus was not immediately associated with the celebration.
He's said to be the son of Hel, the Norse goddess who rules over her domain, which is also called Hell. Interesting. Jay-Z got a line, welcome to hell, where you were welcome to sell, but when them shells come, you better return them. Was that a reference to Hell and her domain of hell? Interesting. Let's go.
Tune of jingling bells. It was disturbing to think that anything so vile and demonic could be associated with so joyous a holiday. Yet Krampus, the horned devil creature, predates Christmas and Christianity. He is the son of Hel, the Norse goddess who is said to rule over her domain, also called Hel. As the Christian notion of Christmas spread across Europe, Krampus was not immediately associated with the celebration. In fact, the horned monster's origins are dubious and hard to trace. It is believed that Krampus is a pagan remnant that survived in the Alpine communities of Europe. More so than any other parts of the continent, due to their geographical isolation, these mountainous communities syncretized their old pagan beliefs with Christianity. Thus, Krampus remained. As winter darkened the night sky, Krampus night was celebrated. Traditionally, men in the village would cover themselves in sheepskins and wear elaborately made masks. Then they would go to their neighbors' houses and chase children, threatening to beat them with switches made of strong, flexible wood, as they rang bells to increase the torment. In some places, it is even said that children were made to run a Krampus gauntlet, a street lined with angry Krampuses eagerly trying to hit them with tree branches. Despite the Inquisition's attempts to root out these heretical celebrations, the locals seemed adamant in their pursuit to torment children each Christmas. As such, Krampus Night was, and still is, celebrated on the 5th of December, the eve of St.Nicholas Day. In the 17th century, after the Inquisition had failed to bring the aggressive tradition to rest, Krampus was symbolically chained by St. Nicholas. A form of compromise, Krampus was no longer regarded as a roaming monster, but as a necessary evildoer who St. Nicholas shackled to carry out his dirty work. In other words, the pagan Krampus had been co-opted into Christianity. Folklore now depicted Krampus as punishing naughty children in a variety of ways. Covering the full spectrum of punishment, Krampus handed out discipline freely, from the tame, such as being left a lump of coal instead of a gift, to the brutal extreme of children begging for mercy before being drowned in a barrel of ink and having their lifeless corpses fished out by Krampus's pitchfork so that he could then parade his trophy around the village. Some children would even be abducted, thrown into his basket to be taken down to hell. Throughout the centuries, people and even governments have tried to suppress this macabre Christmas tradition. Even the extremely radical political party which controlled Germany during the 1930s and 40s found Krampus to be too the tame, such as being left a lump of coal instead of a gift, to the brutal extreme of children begging for mercy before being drowned in a barrel of ink and having their lifeless corpses fished out by Krampus's pitchfork.
I think it's fair. Why not?
So that he could then parade his trophy around the village.
Fair use, fair use.
Some children would even be abducted, thrown into his basket to be taken down to hell. Throughout the centuries, people and even governments have tried to suppress this macabre Christmas tradition. Even the extremely radical political party which controlled Germany during the 1930s and 40s found Krampus to be too evil for their liking. Yet, the psychopathic and brutal festive monster has survived the centuries, expanding out of Europe and across the sea to America. On the night of the 5th of December, more streets than ever before are lined with people dressed as the horned Christmas monster. In German tradition, Perchte can
That was pretty cool.
Psychopathic and brutal festive monster has survived the centuries, expanding out of Europe and across the sea to America. On the night of the 5th of December, more streets than ever before are lined with people dressed as the horned Christmas monster. In German tradition, Perchte can be a kind and giving entity who takes the shape of a beautiful woman. She is believed to visit people's homes during the Christmas season and leave a silver coin for those inhabitants she judges to be good. In tradition, ever before, are lined with people dressed as the horned Christmas monster. In German tradition, Perchte can be a kind and giving entity who takes the shape of a beautiful woman. She is believed to visit people's homes during the Christmas season and leave a silver coin for those inhabitants she judges to be good. In this way, Perchte is a figure akin to a benevolent goddess of nature. However, folklore tells that there is another side to Frau Perchte. To those who have misbehaved, she appears old and haggard. In fact, she is evil incarnate. Before they are able to run away, naughty children are trapped. The last thing they see is an iron knife plunged into their soft bellies. Next, their innards are removed by Perchta's savage hands. Straw and pebbles are stuffed into the empty cavity which was once a child's stomach. Finally, Perchta sews up the corpse, so that whoever finds the cadaver would not realize what brutal event had taken place. Such a nightmarish tale is meant to serve as warning to naughty children at Christmas time. Be good, or Frau Perchta will come for you. There are said, however, to be some pleasant countermeasures to Perchta's knife that can be employed by anyone, regardless of whether they are naughty or nice. Traditionally, feasting on cakes, herring, dumplings and pancakes is said to repel this feminine fiend. If you eat enough of the right kinds of foods, her knife will simply bounce off your belly. German children are also told that it is important to eat a traditional meal on Perchta Day, the 5th of January. With the feast held in her honor, leaving enough leftovers on the table is said to placate Perchta during her nocturnal visit. However, this too carries danger, for if you do not celebrate with the right sorts of foods, namely those which Perchta likes, then she will still visit you as you sleep in your bed. Just like the naughty children, your innards will be gouged as repayment for the offense. And if she catches you trying to go downstairs to spot her eating your food at night, this creepy Christmas character will blind you, a lesser, but nonetheless brutal punishment. Whilst other
So just real quick, otherworldlyoracle.com. Perchta, our ancient alpine goddess of women, children, and the Perchtin. Perchta is the name that's changed often over the centuries. A once widespread and greatly loved Germanic goddess, she still survives in German, Swiss, and Austrian folklore, but under a different name, more hideous, but under a different, hideous guise. She is the leader of the Perchtin. She's also known by the name Bertha, Berat, Perchta, Perch, Frau Percht, as it just spoke about, Verfasst, Peta, and Peta, Baba. Baba, Biba, Bibi, auntie, and more. Perchta's origins are ancient Germanic. However, one theory suggests that she was worshipped by an ancient Alpine Celtic tribe before the Germanic times. In his book Teutonic Mythology, Grimm writes of Perchta's cult centered in southern Germany near the Black Forest, through the Alps of Switzerland, into Austria, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and into France and northern Italy before the rise of the church. She is likely much older, as Grimm theorizes, because her attributes are seen in multiple goddesses throughout Europe. One specific Germanic goddess seems to be the same deity. Hulda, known as Hulda or Frau Holle, is a northern German aspect of Perchta, which we'll explore later in this article. Perchta is associated with the ancient fertility goddess Nerthus, the wild hunt god Berchtold, and with Wodan, the Germanic form of Odin. And as we learned in the earlier piece short we were watching, many of the attributes of Odin were put into St. Nicholas. She might have